Yeah, Captain
balls.
Balls. Woo! I thought I
I almost
paused
missed
long
my
enough.
cue. I almost missed my cue.
Phew. Well,
All
hi
right, good.
everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Tilted
Yes.
Balls podcast. We're drinking. What am
Welcome
I drinking
back.
tonight? I've got Old Forge Distillery. Some
Nice.
blended.
I have H2O for anyone
Ooh,
who studied in science class.
yes. Some hydrogen hydroxide or dihydrogen monoxide. Always good.
So, yes.
Do you know they have never found a cancer tumor that doesn't have dihydrogen monoxide in it?
I guess that would make sense since your body's what, 70% water?
It's the I think it's like one of the leading killers.
Really? People drinking too much water?
Yeah, or they try to drink too much and it goes in their lungs.
Oh, that there was it.
Yeah. Almost every drowning victim it's been found in their lungs.
Almost everyone? I would think it'd be slightly higher than that.
I think you can drown people in other things.
I was just to say, can you technically drown in other ways?
I thought so.
Like, did Jimmy Hoffa drown and it was cement?
Right.
Like that's
Like, does that count?
Yeah, I don't know. I never looked up the definition of drown. That's interesting.
Yeah. So hopefully everybody has had a great week. I hope things have been going good. It's the first week of summer for reals.
Yeah, that's awesome. How you handling it?
It's, like Phineas and Ferb times, 104 days of summer vacation. We just watched Phineas and Ferb, one of the greatest cartoons ever.
Yeah, I know you always watched it. I've only caught a few episodes here and there.
Yeah, they started a new season and Cal watches it every once in a while, so
Okay.
we had to watch it. It's a good show. And it
Gives
was,
you a good reason.
it was Amy, Cal, and I in there watching it, and I'm pretty sure Amy and I were laughing more than he was, though he enjoyed it, but
That's awesome.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
show.
they're scientists too, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
At least pseudoscientists.
Just awesome. They're students of the awesomeness. So
There you go. I might have to watch it. I might have to see if they turn the kids onto it.
Oh my gosh, they would love it. I'm sure. I'm sure they would. So yeah, all of a sudden,
Uh-oh.
yawn.
Uh-oh.
No, it's been nice. I've been getting everybody, not everybody, but me and the wife have been going for a walk each morning. So it's Tuesday, so that means 2 mornings. So 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Well, she always is like talking about how she wishes she could get up and do something in the morning. And I'm like, 7 o'clock is like almost past morning.
You gotta lay in bed for like 45 minutes wide awake and then wake her up.
I'm like, let's go. Let's
Uh-huh.
go.
Yeah, without having to take the boys to school, I switched my alarm to 6, so I've been waking up like 5:45 every morning, and I get up and start my workout and stuff.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's good. Although I wasn't feeling great for a couple days last week. I just got up and I was like, meh.
Yeah.
So I sat in the sauna for a bit. It's nice waking up and going right to the wet sauna because I could almost fall back asleep in there. If I wasn't concerned about falling over and burning the crap out of myself.
You sit down in it though, right?
Yeah, there's like a little one of the like if you think of the original folding chairs, like no handles, nothing, just that. It came with one. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
yeah, that
sounds
works out perfect.
Super scary. Super scary.
Mhm.
Oh, did I interpret correctly? Did you say somebody bought a journal?
Yes. It was so funny. I was gonna do a short on this. I'm glad I didn't. So Jesus sits next to me, and we talk a lot, and I help him. I've obviously I'm a lot older than him, so I've had a lot more sales experience, and he's been there over 5 years at the dealership, but he still has his ups and downs. So we were talking, and he was talking about wanting to do some more journaling. And we were talking about different ideas, and he's like, well, I'd really like something that like had prompts and things like that. I was like, oh, that would be cool. And I was like, wait a second. Like, I have a journal worth having. And he had just gotten a call after that when he got off. He's like, well, what is it? And I pulled it up. He's like, all right, I'm ordering this. And he ordered another, like a men's devotional journal as well. He's
What?
like, I'm going to try both of these.
Why didn't you tell him to do the Bible one?
He didn't want anything biblical. It was more like, it was like devotional and like, devotional is the exact wrong word. It was,
the exact wrong word.
Yeah. I forget the words that they use, but to me it was like attaboys and good, like, mental tricks, and things to say to yourself, and my brain's not working for those words right now.
Yeah.
But it was more like that.
Like daily affirmations.
There you go. Affirmations. I did that to someone just the other day. They're like, what's that thing where you do? And I was like, manifest? He's like, that's it? He's like, I want to manifest better. I was like, yeah.
I originally it was being a jerk because that's who I am. But lately it's been more like I don't want people to think like I'm trying to finish their thoughts or finishes their sentences. So like that happens to Amy all the time where she'll lose words, and I felt like I was always like trying to finish her thoughts and interrupting basically, and I'm like, that's just rude. So I just sit back and
let people stumble.
I let them do their thing, and if they ask, then a lot of times
that's
they'll be
different.
like, oh yeah, that's what it is, manifestation.
That's awesome.
But it started with just being a jerk. Like, I know what this is.
I'm gonna finish it. Well, some of the funniest things to me, like when I've been at like a live show or a movie, is when I know the joke that's coming, and I'll like hard belly laugh.
Oh
like,
my gosh, Dumb and Dumber was the best.
Yeah,
when you started laughing,
because I knew it was coming, and it was so really funny. Same idea right there.
Yep, that's actually the opposite. Just happened in Phineas and Ferb. Like, it follows like a formula, and it's purposely like that's the running gag is that it follows a formula. And so like this one's following the formula. It's like the first season of episode 5, and we're like watching it. And I'm like, oh yeah, following the formula. And then it took a hard right, and I was like, bah! Ah! I'm like, wait, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know. Amy and I are like,
oh, I'm going to have to watch it.
It was good.
I don't know why I never did. I know a lot of people did. I don't know why I never did.
Cal and I's new series that we're watching is Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, you've watched that a few times, haven't you? With each child?
I think once, maybe with the kiddos as they're growing up, because it was such a long series. Like the first season, I think it's 93 episodes.
Okay.
So, but I was watching it like on Cartoon Network whenever it came on, but it's on Disney Plus right now. And I saw it and I was like, oh, Cal, sit down. We're going to watch, Dragon Ball Z. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's loving it. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be tough to explain. That's super cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. So have you seen any of the memes about Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart on PlayStation or on the Switch 2?
I heard it sounds awesome.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, he really wants it, and he's trying to justify to himself to spend whatever, the $300 or whatever it is, and then another $100 for the game, and he might play it for a little bit. But Mario Kart is an open world.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
So, but there's a meme where it's Toad driving through, and then he goes into like a rocket, and he shoots out, and the screen kind of like goes a little dark, and it kind of comes back, and you're sitting in the back of the wagon at the beginning of Skyrim. I don't know if it was real or not, but I thought it was pretty awesome.
That's pretty funny. I'm gonna have to look for that.
It was good. It does look really cool. I know I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't be able to justify it.
Do you know what we need to do? This came up today.
What's that?
We have, I think twice, maybe 3 times, gotten together with 3 or 4 of our friends on Zooms like this.
Yep.
And like had a hangout.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
we haven't done that in a while.
We have not done that in a while. Somebody was talking about how their family, they do monthly meetings with their family because they're in all different states.
Oh, that's
And they're like,
awesome.
we started during COVID, and now we just always do it like one day a month. We get together and we hang
Mm-hmm.
out for a little bit. I'm like, that is amazing. I'm like, I have some friends that we've done that 2 or 3 times, and
Mm-hmm.
we should probably do that. So
Yeah, it's probably about time to do it again.
it seems like it's about time. And I miss Jesse. So
Yeah. I know we
but
should have done it when he was home alone. That would have been even better because he probably was causing trouble by himself.
I was thinking about visiting him this summer.
Yeah, he'd love it.
I have a conference there. So I was like, oh, maybe I should go out there.
When is your conference?
Second week of July, maybe.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sure he'd love it.
I know. I was like, oh, like I could just go crash there. It'd be sweet.
Mm-hmm. His house is awesome.
I enjoy sleeping there.
I'm
Like you guys got stuck on the floor. I had my own bedroom. It was awesome.
used to sleeping in that spot, so it's all good.
Yup. Yeah. I was trying to get Amy to go with me. I'm like, this will be a good time. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I don't know if I want to go to that conference. I'm like, I'm not going because of the conference. Like
Yeah.
I've skipped that conference every year. And she's like, why are you going? And I'm like, to see Jesse. Like it's
Yeah.
just an
Doesn't the
excuse.
school pay for your flight and everything?
Not
I mean,
for
if you're
this
going to
one,
a school conference, oh.
but I
Or
could.
is this a running conference?
No, it's
Is this
a
the running
union
one?
one.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious.
So
That's why you're such a good union rep.
I know. Like I could charge them for it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But
Not if you're not going.
But I can write it off.
For sure.
So I'm like, that's
For
worth it
sure.
right there.
Yeah, I did something recently and someone was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because I want to and it's a tax deduction. Oh, so I don't know if you saw this. Jeremy, am sponsoring the wrestling place that we'd like to go to once a month. So I'm going to be an official sponsor now for there. So yeah, I'm super excited
Like
about that.
as the car dealership guy or the sheet guy.
As a car dealership guy, I debated
Nice.
on the sheet guy, and I'm like, well, if I get really sick of my stuff, I can switch over.
No,
But
that's amazing.
I like to think I'm committed. I like to think I'm committed. Although some of the honeymoon's wearing off, which is fine.
Well,
Maybe that
it
would
always
happen
does,
eventually.
right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. Like I reached out to the owner. The owner sounds really, really cool. He loves wrestling. He was a big time wrestler. I mean, obviously, when we're talking about this kind of wrestling, it's different than your wrestling. But
Yeah, for
anyone out there who doesn't know the difference, we go. If you're new, we go once a month. It's a professional wrestling, and it's North Carolina, and people come from other places too. But we've had a great time. We've gone 3 months in a row. It's really cool. He's got a thing where it's like $750 for the year, and so I get social media. I get a pre-ring announcement, halftime announcement, and then a logo or whatever is on the TV during halftime and before the event starts.
Nice.
But he was like when I was talking to him, I was just like, this is my kind of guy. Like how he's doing things, it sounds like he hustles. He just loves it. He loves people. He loves the interaction, and he's just like he's doing a lot of good for these people.
Nice. That's
So
amazing.
it's really cool. Like just hearing his story and stuff. I was like I'm doing this, like, because I kind of felt the feels to do it, to at least reach out. But once I started talking to him, I was like, oh yeah, like this is a no-brainer.
That's terrific. I want to see the ad.
Yeah, I just did a basic logo to start. Actually, I don't know if I can show it on here, but I did a basic logo to start, and then we talked about some different ideas as far as like different months, what we can do here. Let me see if I can still have it on here. But it was funny because there's like one group of brothers. There's 4 of them, and they're always like fighting with each other and breaking apart and coming together. So I was gonna say, oh, we treat you like family, like the Allens. So it was just like, he started belly laughing, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's great. But nope, I don't know why I don't have it on here. But yeah, it was yeah, just something. It goes back to when I really like something, or I participate in something, or I use something, I need to put money towards it somehow. Now, I don't know what kind of investment I'm getting back. I'm not really concerned about it. Like I said,
Right.
it's something, anyways, that I want to do. And I mean, it's the tax deduction anyway. But yeah, it was just, because looking through my history, like have we talked about this on the show? Like if I would have bought Shopify stock when I first opened my website, like life would be different right now. Just things like that. If I would have bought stock or bought into it or invested in it somehow, then, so it's, let me see. I'm just looking at this one last thing.
An article.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, there's this family, I forget what their name is, and basically was talking about how they're just really a little cautious right now. But
yeah,
they sold their house, their shoes, their cars, everything, and bought Bitcoin when it was $900.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So now they're traveling the world, they're having a good time. But it was talking about how people are like, kidnapping people and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were interviewing them. They're like, yeah, like we have all of our keys on different continents. Oh, I like it.
So that's the logo of Paramount anyways. But yeah, I put the VW there. So yeah, we'll have that for now and we'll do some other things. But just my cell phone on there. But yeah, so they have their keys on different continents.
Yeah, and like their hard drives on different like everything is spread out everywhere, and like nobody knows, like even in the family, all of the keys, like everything is separate, and but because they're so worried about that, and I'm like, I think you're just setting yourself up to get killed, probably. But
yeah, they're going on the news like, hey, look what we did.
Yeah, like you're not gonna get us. I'm like, oh, like, yeah, that sounds like a bad idea, but they're like, most of those kidnappings have happened like in France, and so they're like, yeah, we're canceling our trip to Paris or whatever. But yeah, getting it at 900.
That's awesome.
Which that means it's over 100x.
All in. I mean, really.
They went all in, and I'm like, wow. Because as you and I have talked, like I started messing with Bitcoin when it was like $100 and $1,000, and like you said, like if you'd bought Shopify, then like I'm like, if I bought Bitcoin at $100, that would have 1,000x'd by now.
it was a lot less than that. That summer I was up there and your class was doing it. We were playing Smurfs, Ben. We were playing that Smurfs game. What year was that? I mean, and you were talking about Bitcoin then, and we were all like, "Oh, that would be cool," but none of us did anything.
No.
And it was 1,800 when a friend of mine who did shows was telling me about it. He's like, "You have to buy this stuff."
Mm-hmm. Oops.
Yeah. And that was the third time I heard about it, because I would have heard about it twice from you.
Well, and even when it went down to, it was not that long ago, a year or two, it went down to 15,000. We were mining at 15,000, and we were super confident in it going up.
Yeah.
But we weren't confident enough to sell everything and buy it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we had, it's close to 10xing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yes. Well, congratulations to them. That's awesome.
Yeah. But sad that you didn't get it with Shopify. So,
I mean, there's a lot of things like that I could have gotten it with, but I wouldn't be here right now. So it all goes back to that.
It's interesting. Like, I always think about, or I shouldn't say always, but often, like, what would you do if you came in with like a ton of money, or you got a ton of money? And I was laughing recently because a friend had come into a little chunk of money, and I'm like, what are you thinking about doing with that? Oh, I think I'm going to give a chunk to the church. I think I'm going to give a chunk to this organization, maybe a chunk to this organization, and then I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the kind of person you like, right? That they're like, oh, good, I got a chunk of money. Let me share that with everybody. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Heck yeah. I think it's awesome.
I do too. Super awesome.
Depending on the amount, I would probably be like, well, I guess I'll go buy a Bitcoin now. And
Yeah.
see where
Someone
it
being
goes.
very altruistic.
Yeah.
Well, especially if they're things that they really believe in. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the
Well,
church
just
and
like
things like
you were
that. So.
doing that with, you're like, this has been really good for me, so I'm
hmm
gonna support that.
Yeah.
I like it.
We've had a ton of fun, and I wasn't going. And it's a sign that I had seen for months and months, because it's whenever I drive the boys to school once a month, their sign goes up for like a week, and I saw like professional wrestling 6 p.m. and I'm like, what's this? And just like never did it. And finally one day Gina's like, let's just go, let's see, and just do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And we did, and we had a lot of fun, and we keep going back. And we sat behind 2 times now. We sat behind these guys that are hilarious. They're like super fans. So they know all the guys, and they write stuff and they hold it up and everything. He always writes, I can't believe I shaved my balls for this, like when one person comes down. Besides that, it's family fun. It's family fun. He gets a, he'll write some things on there, but they don't.
So which
say.
is better, this or the soccer?
It's a different kind of fun.
Different kind of
It's it's totally different. Yeah. Like we wouldn't be able to take the kids, like we wouldn't be able to go as a family to a soccer game and have as much fun as we have,
Nice.
because the kids have a ton of fun, because the guys will slap everyone's hands, the
Yeah.
good guys. Well, the bad guys will make faces at them and then talk to them like at halftime or after the event, when they're not in character.
Right.
So actually, one of Morgan's favorite guys, he's a heel, so it's funny. He won't smack him, but Morgan like wears the shirt to sleep and stuff, and he has his picture with him a bunch. So it's super cool.
That is awesome.
But they're just doing their thing. Like we follow them on Facebook. They're going, they work at different places, because this is only once a month. This one company. There's different companies who do different things, and like, they have belts for some places and not others, and it's really interesting.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. That's what you get, trying something new.
Exactly. It was super fun. So, hey, Bean, I don't think you're allowed up here.
I was just gonna say, I think I see a bean coming by.
Mm-hmm.
My boy is anxiously awaiting your arrival.
I'm super excited.
Are they coming?
Yep.
No.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, I'm probably going to be recording from your house.
Yeah, I think we should. Should. If that cat like on you right now, it'd be so funny.
Did you see the a kid did a scientific experiment to see if cat buttholes touch the things that they sit on?
How did he test it?
So I guess it was like some sort of chapstick or lipstick that they could put on there that wouldn't hurt the animal, but it was colored. And they did short hair and long hair, and they did all these tests to see like if a mark would show up. And it was super, super rare if they actually sat down and their butthole touched whatever they were sitting on. It was like a whole science fair thing. I saw like a news article about it.
That's fantastic. Fantastic, I say.
People, you could probably look that up. It'll come. I can't imagine there's a lot of them. A lot of experiments like that.
Oh my gosh, what do you think about the Bro Wars?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it just happened, didn't it?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's really
like this
crazy.
Weekend, it was like I saw one of my girls who was working hard, and I was like, "Hey, I imagine at your work they're talking about this," and she's like, "We've been too busy. None of us has watched the news. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you got to look up the Bro Wars. The bros fighting." Somebody said the reason why he's invading California is to distract from the Bro Wars. They're like, it's just
that makes sense.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I mean, the first thing I said is, anyone really surprised that he would be on the list?
No, I thought he was on the list the whole time.
Yeah, and one of the guys at work, he's very right, and he's like, oh well, there's a lot of people getting their picture taken with Epstein that aren't on that list. I'm like, you think so? Like, he's like, oh, he was everywhere. I'm like, I have no idea. I've seen pictures of people with him, and I don't doubt that they were hanging out there. It's just one of those things. Like, there's no picture of me with him.
I was just gonna say, there's no picture of me with him. So. I've had my picture taken with a lot of people.
It was fun. But he's like, oh, there's people at both sides in that list. I'm like, absolutely. There's people, the whole gambit. from super religious to not at all and in between and politically and whatever other category you want on there. Sadly.
But your man is on there.
Yeah. Like your guy.
Your guy is on there. Remember the guy?
Bernie's not on there.
Bernie's not on there. Kamala Harris isn't on there.
It was funny because he, like when we first met, he had made comments that his brother was very opposite of him. And since I've gotten to know him more, he's like, "You'd really like my brother." I'm like, "Yeah." As soon as I see him, I'd be like, "Yeah, Bernie Bros."
Yeah.
He's like, "You guys would." He like gets a look on his face.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, not that Bernie's my guy, but Bernie's my guy more than Trump is personally.
Durr?
So, yeah, I don't know it's a weird timeline we're in.
It's weird. It's bizarre.
But it goes back to the one lady who she said that his soul contract is a bringer of chaos, and that's exactly what he's doing. And we've talked about it.
Yes.
Things need to come down before they can get fixed.
Yeah. Like you're realizing now the issues that we have, and like people are like, it's sad because like we have friends who are like constitutional law people. Like they love the Constitution. I have so many friends that are like, America's great because they've got this Constitution and that's what makes it. And I'm like, your Constitution, our Constitution, allowed this. Like it's always allowed it. It's been like trusting that nobody would do this. And and as we've talked about before, you can't trust people. Like people will be dumb. And so this is a sign. Here's your sign. The thing needs to be reworked a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you need to figure out a way to enforce it, and oh yeah, you can't. So looks like there's some errors.
Yeah.
Some errors in hindsight.
Yep.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. He's definitely not the fixer, but he's the bringer of chaos. So
yeah.
When
you send the Marines to a state.
All of a sudden, Neil Young's biggest regret starts playing in your head.
The people right now who are like putting up the pictures, like you'll have Trumpy people who are like, they had to send him in. There were riots in LA. And they're like, they put up a picture of the January 6th stuff.
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of those.
Or the people who are like posting pictures about the riots, and it's the January 6th picture.
I haven't seen that. I've seen a bunch of them where it's like, oh, you have to enforce it, or this is going to happen. It's like, really? Why did this happen then?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how did January 6th, how did all these people pardoned?
Like, nobody was injured when they sent in the guard. Nobody had been injured yet. But January 6th actually killed police, and they got pardoned.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're not for order. You're for chaos. Burn it down, baby. Burn it down.
Burn, baby, burn. Yep. It's funny.
People are amusing to me. People are amusing.
Exactly. So I've had 2 sales this week, so that's cool. It's exciting.
Nice. 2 sales in 2 days?
2 sales in 2 days.
Nice. And hey, I assume that means you've helped somebody every day.
Yep. That's considered helping somebody.
Because
so
that's the
good.
actual goal, right?
Yep. Help one person today.
Nice.
And I did. It was awesome.
Nice. That's good.
One guy wasn't able to help today, although maybe he'll come to his senses. He's just trying to super lowball us. I'm like, dude, I can't do it. He's like, can we do 38.5? And I'm like, we don't have thousands and thousands of dollars in the used cars. Like, this is what I can do. And then like we talked all day, text back and forth, and then he's like, all right, I need 37.5 out the door. I was like, earlier I said I couldn't do 38.5. That's with tax titles and and our dock fees added onto that, and now you're asking for less than that. Like I just said we're way too far apart. Like, good luck hunting, and I just left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to take things away from people. Like, if you're being ridiculous, which is fine. I hope he finds a vehicle. It's the vehicle he was looking at is pretty rare, so who knows.
Yeah, like there comes a time where you're like, sorry, I can get you 37.5, but it ain't that one.
Yeah, exactly.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still going to be a nice vehicle, but it's not that one. So,
mm-hmm.
Sorry about your luck.
Oh well. But it's been a really good couple days. Well, I fasted for 40 hours yesterday into today, so
40?
it's good. Mm-hmm.
So when did you break it?
I was gonna wait later, but a customer brought in breakfast biscuits, and like they're just stacked on the table there. I was like, fresh made biscuits with egg. But I was strong because there was egg, boring. There was sausage, bacon, Canadian bacon, tenderloin. I was like, pork tenderloin. I did ask. Like, that doesn't have to be beef tenderloin, is it? I didn't think so. So yeah.
So you resisted.
Uh-huh. Maybe it may go down as one of my biggest regrets ever. But I'm not eating super ultra processed food or people.
Well, the pork loin wouldn't be super processed.
No, but I know. I mean, we both know me. I couldn't say this is okay and this is not okay. Like, I had to draw the line in the sand, like way over here. It'd be like, none of this is okay, because my favorites are here, and these are really good. So like, so most favorite: ham, salami, breakfast sausage, and then comes down. Other foods are in there, and then like pulled pork is really good. Pork chops are like here, and then it starts going this way. So, yeah.
And why? I know we've talked about that a little bit, but why pork and why not beef?
Because remember when I was selling motorcycles, like I was doing like the 18-20 hour fasts,
Mm-hmm.
and I was coming home and eating ham and salami sandwiches.
Oh.
And that was it. And so it was just like I'm eating. I mean, I love ham, but it is processed, and salami, and
for sure.
breakfast sausage. I mean, breakfast sausage isn't. I mean, it is, but not as much. But still, like, that's all. That's what I was eating,
Right?
And that's all I was eating.
But in beef,
bread,
you aren't.
Yeah, I wasn't eating a lot of beef. I mean, and yeah, so.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like, you weren't sitting there eating chipped beef.
Yeah, and there aren't people walking around with beef hearts in their bodies that work, but there are people walking around with pig hearts, which is a whole nother rabbit hole. It's a good one.
You're right. You're right. The person, people don't get a heart this damn big put into their chest. They choose the heart that's the same size as the. Yeah. They don't walk around with chicken hearts either. Nope.
Some people walk around with chicken hearts in their bellies, though.
They do walk around with them in your bellies. Like that one. The other response was really, really good. The heart one is just dumb. Like, yeah, they picked the one that's the same size as a human.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, they don't put elephant hearts in either.
No.
No. Though I did have an interesting conversation. We were laughing at somebody. Somebody was talking about... it was one of the teacher I know, and they were talking about the greenhouse gases on cows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, well, notice how it wasn't an issue when there were herds of buffaloes everywhere. And he was like, interesting, how many buffalo were there when they covered the Great Plains? And so he actually started like looking it up, right? And so he's
Uh-huh.
like looking it up, and he's like, okay, there were I think like 60 million buffalo, and they're like, so how does that compare? And they're like, well, there's like 60, 80 million cows in America, and they're like, see, and like buffalo are so much bigger, and they're like, no, 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 that was in America, and they're like, right? They're like, there's like 140 million cows in Brazil,
Yeah.
and there were zero buffalo in Brazil, and it was all rainforest that they put into pasture land. They're like, so the cows are way, way bigger. And they're like, yeah, but buffaloes are way bigger than cows. And they're like, no, they're not. And like two or three of us who are farmers, like looked at the guy who was like,
They were like way, way bigger. I mean, possibly slightly bigger.
they are
Possibly.
slightly like
Okay.
cows range up to like 2,000 pounds.
Uh-huh.
And you know, buffalo can be like I don't know, like 1,000 to 3,000. So like they can
Okay.
be bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
cows are big too. Like we're like they're.
He's thinking like woolly mammoth size.
I know, we're like, and he's like, they are, and we're like, and all of a sudden he like gets out his phone. He's like, oh, they're in the same ish range, and we're like, yeah, same ish. Like bison on average might be a little bit bigger, but it's not like double the size. It's not like you're talking
Yeah.
about rhinos or hippos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you know, same deal. But that same, not the teacher who was like talking about that, but the teacher who was laughing about cows and greenhouse gases. I don't know if he still is, but he was for a long time. He wouldn't eat beef or any farm raised meat,
Okay.
but he would
So
eat
only
like
wild.
he would eat deer and stuff.
Mhm.
But he's like, we are killing. His thought was, we're killing the environment with these huge farms that we don't need.
Okay.
Like we don't need that much protein and meat all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you know, if it's deer, that's fine. Like, you know, there's
Mhm.
tons of deer, and they need to be
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, you gotta draw a line in the sand somewhere. So
not
Or
I,
not.
but or not. Yeah, like people.
I mean, but if it makes you feel good.
Right. I will often have people ask me, like, hey, you seem to think like, I don't know, you can pick a thing. And they'll be like, you seem to think that's bad. And I'm like, it is? Like, I don't understand your question. They're like, take cows. They're like, you think cows
Yeah.
are really bad for the environment? I'm like, they are. And you think
Yeah.
people probably shouldn't eat them? I'm like, right? They're like, but you eat them. I'm like, yes.
I'm
like, I
not
don't-
trying to pass my judgment on anybody.
I'm like, I don't even understand like the weirdness, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like pigs. I'm like, pigs are super smart, amazing creatures. And
Mhm.
people are like, but yet you eat them. I'm like, yes, I do. Like, I would eat you. Like, honestly, like
Mhm.
if I caught you in the wild,
Mhm.
you know, make you a nice teriyaki. I'm like, I don't. Protein, as
Yeah.
I always tell my kiddos, protein's protein. And it's weird
Mhm.
that people try to segregate their proteins to me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, but that doesn't mean I don't think they're bad or whatever. That's
Well, it's not, especially with beliefs like you're not like chopping off a leg and making the animal suffer or walk around without a leg while you eat the leg, you know, or whatever.
Right.
The animal is dead, the soul, whatever it may be, is gone. It's meat at that point, and you're eating it
yeah.
for sustainability.
Well, and in my brain, I guess I don't really think about it too much, but I'm like, it's kind of the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether that's right or wrong, that's like the literal purpose of herbivores is to feed carnivores and omnivores.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry.
Yep. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just like, I don't, like we talked about last time, like I don't feel weird guilt about stuff. I like just
Yeah.
do the thing. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
like Soylent
Yeah.
Green would be great. I don't understand why people were upset.
It's people.
But
Classic.
can it be dicked in ranch? Like that, like
Uh-huh.
I think you're missing the question that's important to you.
Mhm.
It's like somebody recently was like, yeah, I really can't. I don't like oysters or mussels. I'm like, oh, I go, I kind of like them. I go with like lemon or horseradish.
Oh yeah,
And they're
I don't
like,
like the horseradish, but I like the lemon.
but they're like, yeah, but like their texture is weird and this is weird. I'm like, oh, for sure. Like it's like sucking down a big thing of snot. And they're like,
Hmm.
how do you like that? And I'm like, well, I like lemon and I like horseradish. I don't understand.
Well, I mean, Jesse and I, when we were in Vancouver last year, we went to that oyster place, and that was one of the best evenings that I had in a long, long time.
Nice.
We had so much fun. It was kind of sad because the East Coast oysters were better than the local oysters. And they took the same flight I did, so they cost a little more, but it was
but
worth
they were
it.
so much better.
They were a ton better. But that was the place that was giving us free drinks because we were sitting right by the bartender. And she was like, he's practicing. Will you drink these so we don't have to throw them away? We're like,
my
yeah.
gosh. Yeah, that is fantastic.
They put like an old fashioned, like as soon as we sat down, boom. That
So
old fashioned right in front of me.
we're gonna have to end our episode with a
Oh.
story. With a story
Okay.
for you.
Oh, good.
And listeners. I'm gonna give you all a story. It must have been a week ago. I'm trying to think. But we were doing our walks at night. We were going for a walk and trying to get a walk
Yeah.
in each night. And we decided to head up to the local brewery. So you know where I'm talking about, downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a growler from like Cal's First Communion or something. So I'm like, let's go get
Yeah.
the growler refilled. Maybe we'll get my my membership renewed and stuff. And so we like truck on up there and we walk in and sit down and we're just doing the growler, so we're sitting right in front of the taps, right? And
Yeah.
we start talking and the guy's starting to filling it up and we hadn't eaten yet, so we're like, why don't we get the nachos? And their nachos are fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're incredibly good. So we get their nachos and we order a cider, and it is peach bourbon caramel cider.
Sounds amazing.
If you closed your eyes, and I understand this is weird, people, but if you close your eyes, it tasted just like a green Jolly Rancher.
Really?
Like exactly.
That's
like
awesome.
If
That
you
is
didn't
super
close your
awesome.
eyes, you tasted each flavor distinctly. I don't know why the eyes matter.
Eyes matter.
But like Aim was like, this tastes just like green Jolly Rancher, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. She's like, close your eyes and drink it, and I'm like, that tastes just like a green Jolly Rancher. I'm like, that's freaking amazing.
You're like, what did you put in my mouth?
I know,
She's
but-
like, showed one you right away.
Anyway, so we're still sitting right in front of the bartender, and we're like,
Mhm.
you know us, right? So we're talking to the
Mhm.
bartender, waitresses. People are coming over taking pictures of our nachos. I'm like, why do we have a persona like that? People just
Uh-huh.
love to talk to us. But like literally this old guy walks up, hey, do you mind if I take a picture of that? I'm trying to get my golf club to do like better job with their stuff. And we're like, sure, go ahead. He's like, I'm sorry, it's so weird. And we're like, actually, we're used to this.
Like you're like the fourth person tonight.
Like it happens all the time. So anyway, they're doing this, and like you know how they have those glass washers where they push the glass out. It's like, psh.
Mhm.
So he's like rinsing glasses and filling them and doing the thing, and all of a sudden he puts a glass down. Like a waitress was standing there, and she comes up and he puts a glass down and it sprays Amy right in the face. Somehow, like a piece of the glass had broken off, and when he put it
no.
on there, it's like we were
That's
laughing
hilarious.
so hard, and somebody was like, "Did they like comp you your drinks and like your food and stuff?" And we're like, "We didn't even ask. We were having such a great time." But she was
Yeah.
like drenched. They're like, "Oh no!"
I mean,
did
if
any
it was
glass get in
winter,
your
that's
food?"
different. But
It is.
you know, it was summertime.
It was summer. We were having a good time. I was like, no. I'm like, they'd already given me one free drink. I didn't need to get like more.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we were happy.
That's awesome. Sounds like a good time.
Which, if you come to the open house, we called them up.
I will be there.
Yeah, we just called them up, and the nachos are going to be at the open house.
Really?
Yep.
So you guys did decide to cater in.
What we are doing, I don't know if you would call it catering.
Mm-hmm.
We decided it while we were sitting there. So good ideas sometimes happen at the bar. We don't go to the bar very often, but good ideas. We
Mm-hmm.
decided for the open house, we're going with a local theme. So
Oh,
we
awesome.
talked to them, and they're giving us a big thing of those nachos for like 50 people or so. We're going
Mm-hmm.
to the Italian place, and they're going to make us up some pasta for like 50 people or so. Um, she sent a message yesterday that they went to the famous pie place, and that maybe we're getting cookies or something. I don't know from there. And that's the pie place that's like on all the food networks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
She
I remember that
went into
place.
the ice cream place and said, "We want you to swing by with the golf cart full of ice cream." And they were like, "Okay." So,
That's cool.
you
That's
know,
really
we're
cool.
having all the local stuff like on display at the open house so that all of our people who never get that stuff can have that. Because you know how
Mm-hmm.
proud we are of our little
Yeah.
town's culinary stuff. So,
There's a lot there. It's surprising how many good things are right in that small little area.
yeah, and we haven't even taken you. I was thinking about this the other day. We haven't even taken you to Bridge Street Social, which is
Mm-mm.
amazing. So we'll probably have to take you there.
I know. We went to that pizza place last time. I'd never been there. That was awesome. I loved that place.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
The Bridge Street Social is super good, and their meatloaf. And I know this sounds weird, but their meatloaf is one of the best things I've ever eaten. And I've eaten a
That's
lot of
awesome.
food, so for me to
Mm-hmm.
classify something up at the top,
I love a good meatloaf.
oh my gosh, it is so good. That's what when I said we were doing a local thing, my buddy Rick was like, "Are
Mm-hmm.
you getting the meatloaf?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, no, nope, we didn't call them for the meatloaf."
Yeah. Actually, we went to a new place in Statesville. I think it was a couple months ago, and I ordered their meatloaf. It was amazing.
Well, see, we're gonna have to take you there. I think the
Hmm.
preferred day I'd have to check, but I think what everybody around me says the preferred day is Wednesdays. So are you gonna be here on a Wednesday? No, I knew it was Thursday, and I couldn't remember if it was to Thursday or not.
Yeah, I've got to be back at work on Thursday.
Mm. Well, maybe we'll go on a Monday. Maybe
Yeah.
Monday is the day. I don't know. I just thought it was Wednesday, but it could be
Oh,
Monday.
because they only do meatloaf one day a week.
No, because it's
Oh,
like
okay.
half off bottles of wine on that day.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're a
That's the day to
super
go.
big wine place. Like they have
Okay.
one of like the only high ranked sommeliers in the state that used to be
Oh,
there.
wow.
So
Okay.
they're like super good.
That's awesome.
We'll have to
Good
make a
story.
trip
Good
over.
story.
Yeah. So that's what we'll end with is the story of Amy getting a shower at the bar, which it
Mhm.
wasn't that kind of bar. Like if it was that kind of bar, that'd be better. But anyway. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we hope you have a great week. We'll be back with you next week, and then we'll have a team up episode right after that. So
That'd be awesome.
enjoy your weekend. This is Ballbuster signing off.
Kill the Dragon Jerry. Love you all.